In the last video, you were introduced to behaviors, specifically the move and the rotate behavior. So what we're going to do now is spend the next couple of videos looking at new behaviors which do pretty exciting things. We're not going to go through every single behavior in the next several videos, just some of the most commonly used ones. So first things first, we're back into a completely blank project here inside GameSalad, and we have to create a new actor that as a director we can start giving behaviors to. So I'll just simply create a new actor. I'm going to double click on that actor and give my actor a name. Again, I'm going to stick with Bob and hit return or enter. Now it's important to name your actors. Right now we're just learning, so Bob or Jack or Jill is fine. But in the future, you're going to want to make sure that you name your actors very specific names, because as things get more complex and we start connecting things, you'll learn why. So get into the habit of naming all of your actors now. So we have Bob, and I'm going to drag Bob down into my stage. And just as we saw before, we can go ahead and click on Bob and essentially open up Bob's brains by clicking on this icon next to the play button, which opens up what we call our backstage. You can see inside here where it says Bob Prototype is what's in Bob's head, which is nothing. So again, let's click on our Behaviors tab and let's look at a new behavior. And this time we're actually going to click and drag Accelerate down into Bob's head. So Accelerate is very similar to Move, which we learned in the last video. So I'm just going to reposition Bob and hit play to preview the simulation. And you can see that we get Bob to move from left to right, just like we saw the move behavior, but this time Bob started a little bit slow and then sped up. So that's really the main difference between move and accelerate. You can see that move happens right away, but accelerate accelerates from a stop position. So it's almost like stepping on the gas pedal of your car. It doesn't instantly start moving at an exact speed. It has to speed up over time. So that is the accelerate behavior. Now something I'd like to point out is notice how in the backstage we have this lock screen here. You're going to see this very, very often, and it might be a little bit confusing to new GameSalad users. All I want to point out right now is never ever click on this lock and unlock this screen. I'm not even going to tell you why you do this in the future, because it's really, really important at this early learning stage that you just don't do it. This is that big red button that I'm telling you do not push. In the future, you'll learn about the rare situations where we might unlock this, but unlocking this instance of Bob or of an actor is a bad idea. I hope I've made myself clear. We always want to edit the prototype, not the instance. Again, I know that might not make a lot of sense right now, but when you click on an actor and you have the backstage open, just make sure that you're not presented with that lock. You'll see that show up from time to time, and that usually shows up when we double click on the actor inside the stage. So now we have the instance. Always edit the prototype, not the instance. Okay, great. So now that you've learned how to apply the accelerate behavior to your actor, you can go ahead and change some attributes like the accelerate direction. And this is just like the move behavior. So I'll grab the dial, turn that to a specific angle, and if I wanted to, I can change the acceleration speed. So instead of 100, I'm going to start with 300. I'll reposition my actor and then hit preview. So you can see we have a much faster acceleration and we've changed the direction. So take a moment to create a new actor and apply the accelerate behavior.